All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Double Harvest Economy Mod Showmatch, sponsored by Meltdown Toronto. And for tonight's match, we're going to be having a Zerg vs. Terran of Scarlett versus RuFF. Oh god. Everybody. I was playing the stream in the background. God. So intelligent of me. Anyway. So before we start into the games, we're just going to get a quick interview to see what our pros have to say about the economy mod, and then we'll get right into it. That is RuFF again.
Oh yeah. Did you have any direct questions?
Well, basically, just what's your first impression of the actual economy mod? You know, I know you haven't played it too much yet, but just from the few games you've played.
Okay. Well, I mentioned earlier that it kind of reminded me about Brood War a little bit. So those who ended up playing Brood War back in the day, they know that workers used to sit there in mine for quite a while. And the game was probably a little bit slower, but they actually mined for 8 minerals, whereas the economy mod is, what, 9 minerals? So it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, like the pace of the game. So I'm actually curious to see how a late macro game will go, because I didn't really get to have any competition to actually kind of play with it, but I do have an idea from the mod based off of what I read and how the saturation works for the minerals. So I know that splitting 8 and 8 to your natural is a little bit better than having 16 in your main base.
All right, yep. It is a little difficult to get some real high level games going right now, which is why we really wanted to put on the show matches, because you can queue it up in the in just a custom game where you can try to play with your friends, but it's hard to really get much data on what's really going on. And so yeah, Scarlett, what? I know you've given your opinion on this a few times before, but just for the people who haven't heard you yet. What do you think of the economy changes?
So, hello again. I played a few of these matches against Pili Pili and against Parting before. Before the first time I played it, I thought it would change a lot and make expanding a lot better and everything. But it turned out that it only changes a few things, because you still have to it's still harder to expand because it's harder to defend and everything. And while it is better to spread the workers out more, it doesn't really affect that in most of the cases, because you can't expand even if you wanted to. So the things I found it was changing was early aggression was a lot stronger, because if you only have 8 workers on a base, like proxy racks or early pull, then you have a better follow-up, because even though the enemy has a lot more workers than you, it's not as big of an advantage as in the normal game. And it also seems like it would change some situations where you're playing against a really turtley player like Mech, or someone who's sitting on 3 base portals a long time, where they let you expand and they're just trying to beat you by having a more efficient army. So that will allow you to get a economic advantage against a player that's just turtling, which is, I think it'll be interesting playing against RuFF, because I have played against him a lot in the past on ladder, and I know he does early aggressive builds, he does playing Mech for sure, some games longer than others. So we'll see.
All right, perfect. Well, with no further delay, we'll get right into the games. We're gonna give first map pick to RuFF, since Scarlett, you've had a bit more experience with the economy mod. So yeah, we're using the current ladder pool. So first pick to you, RuFF, and then loser pick from there.
Okay. Well, let me take a look here.
Okay. Take your time.
Maps I don't like. Let's go with Vani first.
All right, game 1 on Vani. So we will get right into that, and we'll see you, or we'll talk to you guys after for a little post-match interview.
Okay.
See you.
All right, have fun. All right. So yep, without any further delay, we'll get right into these games. Game 1 is going to be on Vani Research Station. Is it double A or double N? I always forget this. There we go, double A.
Yes, you got it right.
Pardon?
You got it right.
Yep, I got it right. So why do you think RuFF would have chosen this map?
Well, there's already some good position, like ways for him to abuse the map with mech. Obviously, between the main and the backyard expansion, you can set up there and easily cut off flow between the two bases. There's also the dropping potential with that large amount of dead space between the backdoor or backyard natural, whatever you want to call it.
I just realized I don't have RuFF on here. That might be an issue. I'll just message him on Skype quick.
Good job.
Yeah, I forgot to tell RuFF to go into the channel. So yeah, it gives this map's pretty good for the drop potential, and really like it could be good for the economy mod in general because it can create such scrappy games, that type of stuff. So yeah, it could be very good for that. We'll see what he's got planned anyway.
Oh, he already told us earlier that he will definitely be going mech, but not necessarily all games.
Yes. Yeah, so he does have plans of going for some mech. He didn't want to tell that to Scarlett, so he told us that before the game started. I mean, before the interview started. That's the word. Anyway, so we'll just get right into this. All right, game 1 between RuFF and Scarlett on Vani Research Station. Got a comment of colors in the chat, but that might be a reference to Scarlett choosing the pink, or possibly I screwed something
I think
up.
you're overthinking this. Anyway, in the bottom location, in the squid magnetometer pink, it is Acer Scarlett. And in the top, in the X-ray diffraction blue, it is RuFF.
All right. Well, you know, one thing that this economy mod did not change, which is something that I know some people did like about the legacy change, is that we still have this bit of dead time at the beginning of the game, since the double harvest doesn't actually speed anything up. If anything, I think it slows it down just a little bit. But that's one thing I actually like about this, as opposed to the Legacy of the Void model, which is the Legacy of the Void model kind of completely, I mean, not completely, but it highly disincentivizes cheese builds because your economy gets up and going so fast that you can really defend most one-base things really easily. So that still gives players in this version the opportunity to do sort of cheesy or tech-oriented builds. We'll see what RuFF has planned here. Looks like it might just be like a 1 Rax fast expand, since there's no Never mind. Second
2
rack's
racks.
coming up. I was going to say, because there's no gas yet, could just be, I don't know, gasless marine opening then. And Scarlett definitely taking the hatch first. Very strong in this model just because you can do the immediate worker transfer and saturate both bases. Alright, RuFF's got his gas coming up.
This is more than likely for a second. I was just gonna say a second Reaper, but I meant second unit.
There we go, second unit. Yep. And I know RuFF is known for his, you know, his mass Reaper shenanigans. Seen him do that on stream a few times, so he could be going for that type of attack. And this sort of has that feel because of the SCV moving out. Maybe to build a bunker or something. Normally, you know, if you're bunker rushing, you'll do it with a proxy ratch build, but a proxy racks build, but you can still make it work like this. Because if this was just for a normal scout, I mean, you may as well have the marine. This is going to get here like 5 seconds earlier, maybe. Not really worth it.
I mean, she's got the pool up already.
Yeah, pool up.
She'll be fine as long as she doesn't not take it too seriously. Okay, so she definitely knows what's going on now. She didn't before.
Yeah. And there's the bunker. Okay, bunker's going down, so it looks like RuFF is trying to be aggressive with this, trying to force some damage. Getting a spine in production for Scarlett. And the bunker is cancelled, so that was thwarted pretty easily. I mean,
well, with the queen and the lings and the spine in production, it wasn't going to do much damage, even if it did end up getting up. Now, that's a very interesting command center placement. I suppose he's going to end up taking her gold.
possibly taking her gold, or possibly even an offensive planetary fortress. I'm trying to see if there's anywhere he could actually land it. There's not that much dead space from the creep on this base. It looks like she may even see that coming and is filling this up with creep.
Well, her creep spread's always been good anyway.
That's true. Probably just to leapfrog it down after. I'm a little surprised she hasn't actually transferred those workers over yet. She could get quite an income boost if she were to do that. And yep, here comes the mass Reaper shenanigans from RuFF. So we got double barracks with reactors, just making, 4 Reapers at a time. That can get quite annoying. Luckily, Scarlett does have the Roach Warren in production, because you kind of need that to deal with this many Reapers. The Queens are quite good at it too, especially that many. I'm wondering where, because I feel like this has to be an offensive planetary. I'm just wondering where it could possibly go.
Well, we're about to find out.
Well, if we look at the income, Scarlett has quite a big advantage in the mineral income, just because she has that natural up, and RuFF has not yet attempted to expand. I mean, he does have another command center, but obviously not mining from it.
This is different.
Now it may actually just be used to bait fire from those queens, because it does have a lot of health. It's going to soak up a lot of shots if she's not microing them on the Reapers. But it looks like this has been deflected pretty hard. Like we were talking about earlier, there's just no real place to land it.
She just needs to target that SCDV down really quick, and
there it goes.
that command center is in some serious trouble.
He's going to have to drop a mule if he wants to save it. Yeah, it looks like this Reaper opening has been thwarted pretty hard, so he's just going to go up, expand behind that. But all this time, Scarlett has had this 2-base economy going pretty well, as well as taking her third, so I'd say she's in an excellent position.
He's going to try and land that command center on her third, which he will soon find out has a base there.
Yeah, and it's almost dead too. And the creep spread is so good.
He's really got to consider dropping a mule to repair this.
Yeah, otherwise it's just gonna
like
go down.
A 400 mineral high ground vision building that didn't really do a whole lot for you.
We've got some tech labs in production, and it looks like he's just going full on Marine Marauder, I guess. Full on bio. Now, I was going to make a comment about how great of a position Scarlett was in for income, but it turns out mules are still pretty good. So we'll see the difference once she gets that 8 worker saturation at the third base. But for right now, it's fairly even when the mules are dropped. And still a lot of Reapers. I mean, you can kill drones so quickly with that. Just not many other units. Drones and Zerglings.
Reapers against Roaches are a pretty bad choice, but he can just build the Marauders up in behind this to counter the Roaches, but he's going to want to keep at least a few of those alive, for at least scouting purposes. He's lost a lot of Reapers to this already.
Yeah. And, I mean, this Mass Reaper build can work against Roaches, but you really have to do some early economic damage. Otherwise, it's just, you get too far behind. But it looks like he's trying to take, a very, very forward gold base and build up the planetary there. So this could be the economic advantage he needs to get going in order to get himself back into this game.
He's going to need to build up his tech. Last I saw, he didn't have a factory or really that many barracks to produce from.
Yeah. It looks like he does have to build up his tech, but it also looks like he's going more into a turtle mode with double planetary on the way. He's giving up his mobility for just like sheer I need to stay alive right now feelings.
Well, Scarlett is going to finish up her Baneling nest shortly, and this is going to force him into building more chunky units like the Marauder.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he already was going for that to deal with the Roach issue, but yeah, you gotta either get those Marauders up or get some sort of splash like a few Widow Mines. And I don't think he even has a factory yet.
No, he doesn't. He has that one for... Oh, okay. Hopefully this isn't going to be too much of an issue.
Yeah, hopefully not. What?
What? No, that's not normal. Okay, so now we know. Don't take the gold bases.
All right.
It's a rip-off.
Yep, gold bases are a rip-off. We'll have to note that for talking to the developers. Although I think the developer of this mod is actually watching, because they have watched the previous episodes of this. If not, they will be watching the YouTube cast.
Mute is always a great choice. I love muted selection, except when I'm playing against them, but that's all right.
And they're particularly a good choice on this version, just because you want to spread out a bit more, so you need those high mobility units like the Mutalisk, like drop ships, that type of thing. You don't really want to get stuck with a highly immobile force. But for right now, she's going to need, some fighting units to deal with this push. She doesn't have Baneling speed yet.
Not quite yet, but it should be done relatively soon.
And also engaging on creep, even if you don't have speed, it's not too bad.
Then RuFF doesn't have any medevacs out yet.
That's true, so he has no option of picking up.
Nice splits. Baneling speed does finish up, and Scarlett will clean this up with significant ease. Now she's just going to kill these Reapers over here and be disappointed about this gold base, I guess.
Yeah, I can't believe it's only 4 minerals.
Meanwhile, with the Muta, she can clean up this base. She can harass the natural as well, if she so chooses. And RuFF is in a bit of trouble here. He needs to get some more medevacs first of all,
Or any
and just
medevacs
units in general.
Yeah, I would even go as far as saying he's in rough shape.
Okay, you know what? That went too far. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. You're pretty funny.
He's trying to get as many turrets up as possible, but
There's no units here to defend. They're all at the front, but what happens when he wants to defend here? Well, first of all, there's no medevac, so he's going to stim himself to death. She just flies out over the dead space.
And then
comes in with her Ling Roach Bane at the front. So, oh my god, the Baneling hits!
Ooh.
Okay, a lot of SCVs went down there. This planetary is... Oh, wow, repair's so good. Okay, I guess that planetary's not going to die.
Yeah, that may have been... Okay, never mind. I was going to say may have been a bit of an overcommitment because she threw away a lot of army to get that done. But...
Didn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter. When you've got double the army supply, you can't just throw it away. Especially with that many hatches on production. Oh yeah, that's a great question. Scarlett wondering if the gold base mined at double the speed, or double the like if it was still double harvesting, or if it was
I don't know.
4 minerals but
we've never
but
checked
faster.
this out before.
No, never been an issue before.
Mics are too loud.
Mics are too loud?
I'm going to turn them down.
Okay. Anyway, well, let's find out what the next map is going to be. Alright, next map is going to be Echo. Now this adds another dimension of strategy because you gotta decide, like, is this a map where I would want to take a gold base?
Yeah, I guess. I don't think it was like that before, though.
No, like I was saying in the chat, they had to fix a bug that was causing the bug was causing SCVs not to accept queued orders. So if you told it to like build a barracks and then go back to minerals, it would just get stuck at the barracks. So it must have broken during the fixing of that bug.
Well, hopefully RuFF gets a factory this game.
Yes.
He overcommitted to the Reapers just a bit much.
You could tell he expected it to do a bit more damage. You know, he was going for the offensive planetary, and that's usually a bit of a commitment. Anyway, in the top left of Echo, in the pink, and representing Team Acer, we have Scarlett.
And in the bottom right, in the holographic blue, it's RuFF.
Now, do you think he's going to go for a cheese again, or are we going to see a bit more standard play? Maybe him try to go for that mech build?
I think he might go a little bit more standard since that previous build didn't go well at all. It's actually quite bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, like, if he tried to do that again, where would be a good place to actually build that planetary? Like, he could maybe build it over here and float it to this, but if the natural gets up quick enough, the creep will get there.
Especially with Scarlett's creep.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe if he tried to float it into this area, and you could even block the ramp with it, but then that's relying on her not getting that first creep to her. Looks like this is going to be a defensive play, though, because of this barracks positioning. Try and wall off this area, and you can get a
cooling tower.
Yeah, you get basically 3 free bases, and that really leans towards a mech style. Looks like he's going to try to turtle up, get that, you know, that maxed mech death ball, and go at it.
And get the scouting reaper, that early gas being taken,
or possibly even straight into factory.
Yes, that's also could be a incredibly fast factory.
But it looks like it's going to line up for a Reaper first.
Okay, so this is definitely going to be a Reaper Scout.
Yeah, Reaper Scout. And, it, you know, with the way the last game went, that actually might bait Scarlett into a bit more defensive of a position than it normally would, because it is RuFF and he's known for his, you know, his mass Reaper plays. So it might, you know, she might throw down a safety Roach Warren when she doesn't actually need it. I mean, not that roaches are bad against mech. It's kind of better to go that route than the Ling Bane anyway, but you don't want it that early. We'll see, though. We will see.
So Reaper gets in here really easily, sees the drone transfer. A little slow there.
Yeah, actually gets a drone. That's not usual. Might even get 2. Nope. Nice defense.
Very well defended by Scarlett. So quick with those. Oh my goodness, the Reaper gets
amazing.
Stuck. All right.
Amazing positioning there, or use of that structure. It's not often that you get to kill a Reaper with 2 slow lings.
No, you're right. It's not. Well, okay, so we've got a factory. This already is more interesting than our previous game. Not that the other game was interesting, but this one's going to be a little bit more exciting.
Yes, we're going to see that late game, that's for sure. I mean, with RuFF taking his 3rd base already, he's committing to, like, I am not going to attack you anytime soon. It's just I'm going to defend, I'm going to get that mech death ball. Probably going to transfer this over so that he can, you know, do double Hellion production, maybe slow down the creep spread a bit. That also might... it might bait Scarlett into thinking that it is bio play again, because that's sort of the normal bio play style, I guess you would say, getting the reacted Hellions quickly. But if she sees this wall, I can't imagine. Like I'm thinking if we could call mech from this, she can.
Yeah. Well. I'm sure she's got a pretty good idea that he's got 3 bases. If not because of the overlords are there, but definitely because of that ball placement and...
Yeah, just all the signs are pointing to sit back and turtle a bit. It's also telling that he's not actually doing anything with this barracks anymore.
So we have 3 starports in production for RuFF.
Is he going straight Sky Terran?
He could.
Or is this going to be like maybe some cheeky Banshee play? Although it may not even go that long because this is a pretty hefty Roach force.
I would say Banshee play, but you're right. This Roach attack coming up is...
And what's here to defend? 3 Hellions,
1 SCV to repair,
and 2 Marines. This might just be the end. You know, we called this as going more late game, but we didn't give Scarlett enough credit for her ability to just go freaking kill him.
She's busy, I guess. She just wants to, end this early, have some dinner. Okay, so this is pretty much the end here. Unless if these Banshees that come out can kill all of these units.
Well,
and save all of his workers.
Yeah, given enough time, they will kill all the units, but I don't think...
That's fair. That's true.
I don't think that's going to be enough. I think the game will be over by then.
The problem is he's going to lose all of his workers and a significant amount of his buildings. So he's just going to go over and counterattack immediately because this is in base race territory now. He knows that he's in some serious trouble, especially with all those lings coming down.
Now, these spores are going to be close to finish, but I don't think they'll be finished by the time he gets there. Definitely will be in the main.
But they'll be finished soon enough, and with a queen drawing the fire, it's... These Banshees, I don't think are going to be able to win him the game.
No, the mule repair is really cute. I'll admit that. But it looks like this is just going to be a real clean victory for Scarlett.
Floating buildings kind of make me...
Oh god, the lings are already here.
A little bit sad, but... This layer is getting incredibly low.
Spores just burrow so quickly, though. And the transfuse, it still goes down, but...
Transfuse. But how many workers does he have? None! Guess what? You can't build buildings with mules. He's got 4 Banshees. He's going to have to micro these Banshees like a super pro and then hope that she never gets anything that shoots up and flies. So, like a Muta or a Corruptor. Because Banshees can't shoot air.
I mean, with the lair going down, it's going to be a while before she can get anything like that, but
yes, she can make mass spore crawler, which is what she seems to be doing right now.
Yeah, like this hatch is not going down again, that's for sure.
So 1 Banshee's gone down, the second has gone down. There are only 2 left.
And the thing is, unless RuFF wants to take the Banshee back and deal with all these units, he's not able to actually rebuild anything. So he has to kill Scarlett completely with with these 2 Banshees.
1 Banshee is so close.
Okay. The mule wasn't repairing.
This is it. The last Banshee, and GG. Scarlett takes game 2.
Quicker than expected, but I think the fast 3 base was a little overzealous from RuFF. He didn't have enough units behind that to really do anything. What do you expect for map 3? It's gonna be RuFF's pick again. Coda. Found out before we could even finish that thought.
Well, I hope this goes a little bit better for him. Both of those games were fairly decisive.
Well, you know what? He promised Susan before that game started that he would win at least 1 game.
That's true. I mean, I do like both of these players, but I know Scarlett's incredibly good. But I did ask RuFF, please take at least 1 game.
That was his promise. He said, I'm going to win at least 1 game. That was his game plan going in here. So we'll see if he can fulfill his promise.
If not, I'll forgive him.
So what do you expect this game? Do you think he's gonna try mech again?
I think so. I think he's going to wall off the low ground for the front yard natural and take a quick CC.
That seems fairly likely.
And in the bottom right, in the titanium dioxide pink, it's Acer Scarlett. And in the top left, in the cobalt blue, it's RuFF.
From Team Ascension.
I guess I never said that.
I figured I'd even it out because you were saying Acer Scarlett.
Well, I'm secretly biased.
Oh, we got very
She's
fast
cheating.
pool. We got
She's hungry.
yeah. Got
It's
a
almost dinner
9 pool
time. She's
coming
like,
up.
forget this. I want dinner now. With some cheese.
Yeah. Well, what she did tell us in the first game that makes a lot of sense is that, or not the first game, the first series against Parting is that this sort of economy mod is, I guess, like a secret or a hidden buff to things like the 9 pool, because normally your economy would be so far behind. But because you only need 8 workers at a base to get that sort of optimal saturation, you know, you're not quite as far behind as you would be. Obviously, having 16 here would still be better. Wow, fast roaches, too. Now, this is...
Good.
This is just a totally non-meta build. This is... I suspect this is something that she planned particularly for this, you know, for this double economy matchup.
Trying to show how if you just kill them before they get the mech ball, it doesn't matter.
Yes. Now, if you look here, like, RuFF does have, you know, since he was going for more of a standard opener, he does have more income, but it's not as, you know, as extreme as it would be in a normal game, because she has hit that 8 worker soft cap. She's just got straight roaches in production.
Good. I wonder how fast this game is going to be. If RuFF can hold this off,
She'll be quite far behind.
Yeah, he'll be in a great position. That is, if RuFF can hold this off. Now, he does have 2 Marines coming down that will see the roaches, or potentially see the roaches before they actually hit.
But they're out on the map. They're not even safely behind that wall. And he was not expecting that.
Definitely not.
I mean, you do not see roaches this early in any matchup.
Immediately starts a bunker. He's going to need a lot more than 1 bunker and 2 Marines that are out on the map. He's probably going to have some Widow Mines in production to help with the defense.
Oh, snipes the worker building the bunker. So that's a nice little pickup. And just delaying that as long as possible. Also picking off one of the Marines.
He's going to need more than 2 SCVs preparing there. Okay, there we go.
Widowmine is out, so it looks like this could be a hold for RuFF.
Well, she destroys this, what was that called?
Reactor?
Yeah, the reactor. She can still get in on this side, because there's no bunker covering that side. It cancels the command center. She can just walk around, go up into the main, and kill all the workers. He's so supply blocked now, and this depot going down is going to supply block him even more. What does he have in production?
A Widow Mine.
Okay. Well...
And another command center, which is an interesting choice.
That is an interesting choice.
It may even be a defensive planetary with how weird this game has been so far. You know, sometimes it takes an absurd defense to thwart an absurd offense. But it looks like it's just going to be, you know, a high ground
These supply depots, he started awfully late. Like, he was supply capped for so long there.
Yeah, he's definitely been thrown off his game. But yeah, it looks like it's just going to be command center on the high ground so that it can guarantee get up. And Scarlett's is actually ahead of it because she got that cancel. Or not ahead by much, but just barely. And the fact that she doesn't have to float it anywhere. And not that he even can float it right now.
Exactly. If
Oh, no, don't. Oh, wait, no.
If
no,
he
never
tries
mind.
to float it, roaches can get in. That was good. Would have mine hit, but only 2 other roaches on the low ground here, so he'll hold on for now. So we'll see what he chooses to do after this. You know, he can still pull back. It's not like he's out of this game completely.
Oh, for sure. Because Scarlett, you know, she has severely hindered her economy by going for, you know, a 9-pool roach opening. But, you know, it's... I'd say she did enough damage to be ahead, just not massively ahead.
At the very least, she's gotten to his mind.
And a
Kinda
fast
throwing him off.
spire, too. But once again, RuFF going for this Banshee play. Now, with a fast spire, that, you know, that could potentially shut it down, but the Banshees are out way before any Mutalisk will be.
But there's an Overlord on that path, so depending on how he chooses to fly these over, if he just goes direct path, because, you know, he's got to get some damage done. There's not really a whole lot of time to hide the fact that he's got Banshees. So she'll immediately start spores. Or not.
If she saw it, she may not have seen it.
I guess, but, you know, she's pretty good. She probably saw it.
She does have a bit of money, but just no spores in production yet. There's not even a queen down here.
Well, you know, maybe her drones jump now. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. Jump punch drones. But Ruff's not actually doing anything. He could be doing massive damage right now.
Yeah, he is being a little cautious. A little too cautious. I suppose he's waiting for Cloak.
Yep.
But if there were no spore crawlers. Now this is the kind of move that could get him back through this game. So he sees the spire. This queen is totally dead.
Yeah, Overseer in production, but the queen dies, you know, gets one shot off. But mutas are out now.
Okay, so wisely splits them up.
Gonna
maybe
continue
get a
to
couple
do
more
damage.
shots off with this Banshee, and the other one gets home safely.
Nice little micro move there from RuFF. But Scarlett did lose a lot of drones there. And we've got just another Sky Terran game going here. This is given, you know, it was a very sloppy game on both sides, with Scarlett going for that crazy 9-pool roach rush. But, you know, now that RuFF has held it off, it's given him the opportunity to go up to that starport play that he didn't get to do in the last game because Scarlett just killed him.
Splitting the Banshees again.
Now, do you think the fast spire is reactionary to the fact that he went, you know, triple starport last game, or is it just?
Because that was pretty painful. She didn't want that to happen again.
Yeah, if she hadn't, if she hadn't just basically killed him before the Banshees got out, it could have done a lot of damage because she just had no real anti-air protection. She had a lair, but nothing that really shot up besides a few queens.
They're very similar on worker supply. RuFF, just about 12, 14 supply over in Army. This is mostly in Vikings.
Which is an interesting choice. He's really prioritizing the Sky Terran mech and getting Ravens too. So it looks like he's going for that the Sky Terran ball of just like mass Viking mass point defense drone, and also the seeker missiles, which isn't quite as strong now that they've reduced the point defense drone to, I believe, 10 seconds instead of 60. So it's lost a lot of its strength, but still can do.
Oh, those ravens were a little.
Yeah, they were
straying out a little too far.
Yeah, they were pretty exposed there. Now you got to be very careful engaging this as a Zerg, just because there are actually no Zerg units that can shoot through a point defense drone. Not even that Spore Crawler.
It's the most annoying thing for Zerg. I kind of feel bad for them, but I'm sure they'll manage. So taking out the Spire would be a nice pickup for RuFF to completely halt the Mutalisk production.
Especially with this upgrade like so close to being finished, but it's not going to get done in time.
So this is looking pretty bad right now. But with the Infestor upgrade almost finished and 7 Infestors on the way, Scarlett, if she can just get just the right fungal, that could totally change the game.
And actually, you know what? I was wrong. There is a single Zerg unit that shoots through point defense drones, and it is the Infested Terran. So with a good fungal and a lot of eggs under those, they will go down.
Okay, so here, good fungal.
Got almost everything.
She's gonna need a little more than that to finish these off. So 3 more Infestors come out, but they're kind of exposed. Now they're completely out of position. Okay, so he's getting a couple of those Banshees. And there are those infested Terrans you were talking about.
Unfortunately, they're shooting the auto turrets.
I guess they prioritize them.
Yeah, well, because that's the only thing shooting them. And all the while, RuFF is getting his 3rd base up. Scarlett starting her 4th, but RuFF's in a pretty good situation economically since he took out her natural. And he's going to do a bit of Hellion harass too. I mean, you got to dump your minerals on something, right? So if you can kill a few drones for it, may as well do it. Blue Flame too, so they're gonna die
a lot of
quick.
drones are getting fried here.
Oh, roasted.
Oh my goodness, they're getting so close there. A lot of those drones are lining up. Okay, so finally cleaned up, but she lost a lot of drones to that.
Yeah, and I'd say RuFF is playing pretty well to the double harvest mod because you have to spread yourself out more. So why not go for some harassment? I mean, you may as well. And since Scarlett was over here defending, she couldn't be over there. Oh, great
Nice
fungal
there.
All those are going down.
Okay, so now these ravens are completely exposed. That one Mutalisk, the hero for the Zerg army, killing that last raven.
Now we got free units killing free units. It's almost like a Swarm Host ZVZ. These changelings are just super lazy. They don't want to do anything today.
They work hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So RuFF's harassment has really stopped Scarlett from being able to get that the 4th, 5th, and 6th bases that you would want against a meching army. So this is really interesting because our initial thoughts were that when you go for mech, the Zerg will just be able to exploit that and take so many bases. But he's really proving us wrong there.
These infestors are.
Yeah, you do not want to lose your infestors. They're so gas heavy.
What's that one swarm host doing? It was
Just hanging out. Hanging out. She's got the Flying Locust upgrade in production, so it wasn't a misclick, unless it was a double misclick.
no. That was on purpose for sure.
Yeah.
She's done this before against, was it Hushang? Or it was in her WCS runs.
Yes.
She went Flying Locust upgrade against 2 separate players. But she doesn't even think she can do it. GG. Game 3 goes to RuFF. Okay, so he kept his promise. I guess I don't have to disown him now.
Yep. He won his guaranteed single game that he promised us.
You can let him know later.
Yes. Expedition lost. Okay.
I hope she proxy hatches.
That would be interesting. Usually more of a ZVP thing, but I mean,
But proxy hatch is hilarious.
yes. Now this is another map with the gold bases, so players, they're gonna have to play around the fact that it doesn't really help you and actually kind of hurts you on this because of the bug there. I should just add RuFF because there we go. Discussing Scarlett's Roach Rush. That was a really interesting attack there. I like that. All right.
Okay, here's hoping for proxy hatch.
So we got some discussion in the chat about whether people prefer the 12 worker start or the double harvest model. Anyway, we'll continue that after the introductions.
Okay, so in the bottom left, in the vacuum annealing pink, it's Acer Scarlett. And in the top right, in the Crucible blue, it is Team Ascension RuFF. There
we go.
did it this time.
Very fast gas.
So I guess we're not going to see a proxy hatch. I'm a little disappointed. But
Probably
quick
not.
pool's pretty entertaining too.
Was that a 6 pool?
Yeah.
It was either a 6 or a 7 pool. It's very interesting because this is the map we saw. I think she did an 8 pool against Parting on this map, except he also doubled,
Yes, he
double 2-gated in her
Yes.
base. Well, I guess we're not going to have our discussion on 12 worker against double harvest in this game because things are going crazy already.
This quick pool I find very interesting because even if RuFF decided to wall the low ground, it's a fairly quick wall.
Yeah.
So I guess you could go for the back ice. I think it's ice. Yes, it's ice. Or
Are we actually having a proxy hatch?
maybe she read my message.
We might actually have a proxy hatch, although there are 2 drones, and that doesn't make any sense to me. It could just be for extra fighting force, or
I guess so.
I don't even know. I don't even know what this could be.
This is awesome.
One to make a hatch,
Okay,
one
here
to
we
steal the
go.
gas,
It's happening.
and the wall is not yet finished.
This worker is so dead.
For sure. Had no chance. And since RuFF actually went for the fast factory instead of a Reaper first, he's going to be pretty exposed for this. You know, the Reaper's almost out, but if Scarlett wanted, she could even surround the entire barracks right now.
Okay, so all of the SCVs are being evacuated. He can go to her base and try and do a worker Reaper fight with the Lings.
Yeah, that's possible.
But there's a queen out.
And she's going to have just the defender's advantage in general because she's still mining and he's not, so she can continue to make things.
And guess what? He's supply block, so he's not going to be able to make anything else until he builds a supply depot or presses the oh crap button. Okay, so got a pretty good worker surround, but the queen helps out so much, and GG.
GG. So that was a very quick game. Very quick game. Game 3 goes to, no, game 4. Game 4 goes to Scarlett, giving her her 3rd victory. That was very interesting.
Ruff's not used to the mod, I guess. He
or just maybe the map.
Thought he could get away without walling right away. Okay, so we'll see what map he wants to play on.
Scarlett saying what you were talking about. Because the wall of the natural is very, very quick.
Maybe they forgot they were playing. So this is potentially match point here for Scarlett.
Yep. Ooh, Inferno pools.
That's interesting.
We don't usually see that until map 7.
Yeah.
That's like the, oh crap, we're out of maps. It's like the, can we just surrender now and split the prize pool?
Well, they are going to split the prize pool, just probably not the way he wants.
That's true.
Or maybe he's got something really special planned.
It could be. I mean, in ZVT, I think a lot of it comes down to, on this map, where your spawn positions are. You know, it can be Zerg favored if you get one spawn, whereas if you get cross spawns, it's bit more Terran favored.
I have to think of the dumbest color names I can think of now. Let's see. Alright, I got one. Do you have one?
No, you take it.
Okay, I'll take both of them.
You're much better at interesting color choices.
Just remember, if you're trying to remember these names for later, most of them I do in fact make up. Cobalt Blue is a real one though, but I'm not going to go with Cobalt Blue, of course. So in the top left on Inferno Pools, in the Twizzler Blue, it's Team Ascension RuFF. And in the bottom left, in the Diamond Crystal Structure Pink, it's Acer Scarlett.
We'll see if we see anything crazy this time. We have an Overlord before pool, and that's going to be the first time in the past few games that we've seen that.
I also think we have a shady SCV coming out. So, is this going to be just a build of barracks in the center of the map and
And hope that guess right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's possible. Like the Maru, every time he plays on...
we have more SCVs coming out in the... I guess so.
Interesting. Yeah, so this is 3 racks? Proxy 3 racks? No gas, so... Just going hard in the Marines, I guess? Because I find it very difficult to believe that you can make 3 racks Reaper work, at least proxied, and this early.
Well, it's not even gas, so even if it was...
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It is going to be 3 proxy racks.
Well, we know he was practicing on this, on the economy mod, so this could be a tailored build for it because he has exactly that eight workers on minerals, and he maybe just found out, this is what you need to make non-stop 3 racks Marine production, and he could just be going and trying to murder with it.
So if he finds her, at least with his second scout, hopefully, I guess, I don't want to sound biased here, but that'll work out best for him.
Yes, for sure.
So he's going to find her and see that she didn't do a cheese build this time. So he's going to bring that second SCV either over to her base or back home and start building a barracks. What the hell's that?
Bunker?
Bunker. Damn. That's the one. A bunker.
And she needs units right now. And, like, Zergling speed. Although, one of those is not going to be possible for a while. So she may, if she finds out about this soon, she's going to have to throw down some spines quickly. At least one.
I think she's going to need a little bit more than one. But we'll see. So she sees it now. And there's a lot of Marines here to back up those SCVs. So he's very wisely cutting off the circulation between the main and the natural. But he's going to have to target down that queen eventually. That's going to do a lot of extra DPS in the back. These 2 spines are going to cause him some serious problem. The SCV is so low.
Yeah, the spines need to get up because that's really the only way to counter this bunker, because if you position it right, you can get 1 square extra range on it.
And it looks like that's the position she's choosing.
But it might
not matter. He's got a couple more Marines being rallied over.
He doesn't even really need the bunker because he just has so many Marines. I think this is going to be game.
There.
Very interesting build from RuFF.
He's cheesing the cheeser.
Very interesting build from RuFF. That proxy 3 racks.
And he still only has 8 workers at home. But, yeah, mules. I guess they're pretty good. Last I heard. GG!
And you know what? 8 mining workers is a lot more than the none we had from Scarlett, so... Very cool, very cool.
He was sick of it, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna cheese harder than your stupid quick pool.
Iron Fortress.
Iron Fortress. Another excellent map choice. So we'll see what builds they have in store for us.
Yep. We'll see if we see another early cheese, or if we've got more of a macro game coming up. Haven't we seen one macro game? One macro game so far? Yeah.
This is not at all what I expected them to do, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. It's really it's really a reactionary thing once you get into the game.
Yeah.
You can't just go in there, you know, be innovation and have like a set of rules and, you know, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I knew that RuFF, you know, he's known for being aggressive, so could have seen something like this happening, but you know, he's also known for sort of that turtle mech style, so I thought we'd see a bit more of that. But yeah, this is what we got.
So, is he just gonna go for like 3 racks and just in the middle of the map again?
Maybe.
That'd be hilarious.
Is it 3-3? Yeah, thought so.
Okay, so this is it, guys.
Match point.
Is it going to be Team Ascension RuFF who takes the trophy, the figurative trophy, or is it going to be Acer Scarlett?
We will find out soon. I would really like to see another macro game.
Okay, but let me introduce them.
Yes.
Because I didn't even do that.
I thought that was your introduction.
No, I was just thinking out loud. Anyway, in the bottom left, in the free space optical transmitter pink. I said that so you can all catch it. It's Acer Scarlett. And in the top left, in some blue, no, in the laser blue, it's Team Ascension RuFF.
The chat saying it's 3-2.
Is it?
I think so.
Well, okay, sure. Believe the chat. Whatever.
Well, let's see. What did RuFF win? He won. He won when he did the Raven Banshee. He won when he did that right there.
Yeah. Okay, you know what, guys? And this is specifically to Alvin. I work in a lot of labs. All right? That's where all my colors come from. Anyway. Let's get back to this game.
All right, well, Scarlett going for the quick hatch, not going for anything too cheesy. Maybe she's given us the macro game we were asking for. And RuFF looking like he's going to go straight into that factory play, lining up for it. Yep, there we go. So factory coming up. Do you think we're going to see mech, or do you think it's just going to be a, you know, like your typical reactor Hellion into Starport build?
I think he's going to tease us with mech and then go into reactor Hellion.
Make us beg for the mech.
And Alvin, I know it's you because, well, against popular belief, because, you know, I work in a lot of labs, I can break Heisenberg uncertainty law, uncertainty principle. So I just teleported right over there and checked it out. Okay, nobody looked that up.
All right, well, definitely reactor Hellions to start off, unless we see some, you know, some cool Widowmine play. These Marines are being pretty annoying. Getting an Overlord, a few Zerglings, I should say. And the Queen is just so freaking slow.
Queen's off creep, or just...
Oh, even gets a drone. That's very nice for such a small amount of units in the early game.
So RuFF's just going to build up a couple reactor Hellions. I believe it's 4 to 1 hit a drone. Is that right?
It's 4 or 5. God, I should know this. I think you're right. I think it's 4. Yeah.
So we can just go on over there and hopefully one-shot at least 5 drones.
That's what he's hoping for, at least.
But with these queens at the front, you know, Scarlett's gonna know.
Oh,
right
that
away.
Queen's busy at the moment, though. Laying down some creep, and the Hellions They could have got into the main
got
if they
3
wanted.
right away, and another 2, and these drones are... They almost lined up there. Okay, so he got quite a few workers there.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't get into the main. That would have been a juicy pickup. But one thing I remember, I saw some people talking to Iagoos about the economy changes, and one thing he said he really liked about this was if you go and you're playing against the Zerg and you get quick Hellions, there are more drones at the natural because they transfer them, right?
You're right.
So
yeah.
it gives you a bigger payoff if you're able to micro well with your Hellions.
Oh my god, a tank.
So it looks like we are going to see some mech play. You don't really go bio-tank anymore.
Well, you also don't really go proxy 3 racks in the middle of the map anymore. So.
That's true. That's true. We could see some bio-tank if we're going back to, like 2010 builds. Or if this suddenly turns into a TVT.
That would be so crazy.
Yeah, it would. Single armory.
Just get so many infestors and then neural parasites all the SCVs.
I'm surprised to see just the single armory.
Well, he's probably just gonna go for this. I guess we call this a mid-game push. See if he can catch her off guard. And
Gets
she
a
doesn't
queen.
really have much to defend here. She's got a couple queens, I think a few lings,
Yeah.
no roaches.
Morling's in production, and this could turn into a pretty strong Hellbat timing too. All the drones had to be pulled from the natural, and this might just end up killing her. Yeah.
GG! Okay, so now it's a for real 3-3.
Yes, for real 3-3. Wasn't actually match point, even though we thought it was.
That's okay. I can just say it again.
Yeah, we'll just pretend that never happened, guys.
Here we go, cactus.
Because I know people on the internet are really great at forgetting when people make mistakes.
That's true. They're so forgiving.
Oh, we love you, internet. Don't ever change.
And we especially love Meltdown Toronto.
Oh, of course. Meltdown Toronto are wonderful sponsors of this event who are opening up in the fall and getting ready to bring you some excellent, excellent esports action.
I personally was really hoping they'd be open during WCS.
Oh, yeah. That would have been a great place for an after party. And, we asked them to. We were like, hey, guys, you got to make this happen. You got to make it happen because it'd be so fun. And, I mean, unfortunately, it takes a lot to actually get a bar up and running in Canada. I mean, we've never tried, so we have no idea. But, you got permits to deal with. You've got, legal things. RuFF has declined our invitation.
They both did, so there's probably something wrong.
Probably.
What I'm wondering is, are you guys going to have a kitchen? Because last time we talked, you didn't know, and really, you got to have bar food.
But for all of you who are watching from not Toronto or not Southern Ontario, make sure that you look it up, try and find out if there's a meltdown near you. I know more are coming to North America. I believe there's one building in Portland. Obviously there's the one in Toronto.
Okay, good. They've got a kitchen. That's excellent.
If you live in Europe, there are already some very cool and established meltdowns over there. But yeah, just go on Google, find out if you got a meltdown, and then go hang out. If you're lucky, you might even see Stefano.
I was already thinking of StarCraft themed named foods that you could have there because I just decided I was gonna decide on your menu for you. And one we thought of was the spawning pool. Obviously, that would be some type of green drink that would be either disgusting or delicious, not in between. Okay, so for our last game of the day, In the bottom right, in the regular pink, it's Acer Scarlett. And in the top left, in the blueberry blue, is Team Ascension RuFF.
So are we gonna see cheese?
You're always gonna see cheese. Now, what other food names?
Other food
Thought we
names.
thought of other ones that were all really terrible.
I know we were thinking of the spawning pool, but I think we were calling that like a cheese fondue.
Oh, that's right. It was a cheese fondue that you dyed green.
Yes. I can't remember what else though.
There could be the infestor, the neural parasite, which is actually just 100% methanol. Okay, that's a bad idea. Don't do that one. But if you do, and you need a supplier of 100% methanol, I may know where to get some.
The one cool thing about Cactus Valley, well, I mean, cool if you're a Terran, is the fact that you can wall off this natural so quickly. Like, this is... I think he could, put a bunker here or another barracks. It's basically like the same size as walling your main ramp. So, why not build it at the natural? There's really, like, very little downside to putting it there.
I said methanol! Anyway. It's not fun working in any of those labs, really. Let's look at the game and forget I said anything.
Well, I just want to make a comment about the double harvest mod, because we're hearing, or I'm seeing a lot of comments in the chat being like, well, what the hell's the difference? We're seeing a lot of like normal looking StarCraft games. And the answer is, you're right. We're seeing a lot of normal looking StarCraft games right now because it's very similar to the normal StarCraft economy until you pass the 3 base mark. Once you get past 3 bases, that's when the game starts getting quite a bit different. But for a vast majority of StarCraft games, it will stay mostly the same, which is actually what I like about it so much, because it sort of fixes the late game without drastically changing the early game. Because I would say that the early game that we have in StarCraft is quite good,
Okay, I was typing, and I'm just going to confirm to Matt, even though I already typed it in, ethanol is the only alcohol you can, I'm not going to say safely, but you can drink more of as a human and not die immediately because of something called ADH, which is alcohol dehydrogenase. And we're going to watch the StarCraft game some more.
Yes. So yeah, like I was saying, the early game in a double harvest mod looks surprisingly similar to a normal StarCraft game, with the few exceptions being that you should automatically Maynard your workers over to the natural as soon as it's finished, because you'll get an income boost for having 8 and 8 as opposed to 16 and 0. But the real differences come past the 3 base mark, which is when you get to see some cool stuff with players, maybe going up to 5 or 6 base economy.
I think we might actually see more of a macro game for once.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Like, we got a fairly quick CC here, and we got a ton of gas.
Yes, that is a lot of gas. So it looks like, with this much gas, it looks like RuFF is probably going for that heavy Stargate play, and prioritizing units like the Raven because they're so gas heavy. Whereas Scarlett is, she's getting her lair, taking her 3rd base, and hopefully we'll see her get up to the the 4th and 5th and 6th base economy that we were talking about. If RuFF goes for your very, very passive, turtle mech play, we'll probably see her be able to exploit that possibility. But unless that happens, if RuFF once again goes for the heavy Banshee harassment, we might not get to see that.
It looks like that's exactly what's happening right here.
Yes.
With the massive amount of tech labs being built on starports. We do have the Spire for Scarlett, though. So if she can protect the Spire, and, well, she's going to see it, actually, so she'll know.
So she knows exactly what's going on. I mean, he's tried to do this 3 games this series, so it's become very, I don't want to say predictable, but very scoutable. Once she sees the triple Stargate, there's only one thing it could be, and it is that, that mass Banshee into Viking Raven transition. So she's got, at least 1 spore, but the important thing is that her Spire just finished, and she's going to have, oh, interesting, he goes straight into not Vikings, Ravens.
Okay, well, I guess we might just see mass Ravens.
Yeah, it looks like that is the game plan, which is going to be cool, because that that gives Scarlett that opportunity to get the double harvest economy going, which is.
Sorry, I just had to point that out.
Which is I know what a lot of you came here to see, because I mean, if you wanted to watch a normal StarCraft game, there are plenty of those going on. But the double harvest thing, I think it has the potential to be really, really cool in games like this. And you might say, like, well, if you have 6 base Zerg against 3 base Terran, isn't Zerg just like incredibly OP? And that's possible, but with how much difficulty Zergs have been having against meching Terrans lately, I think it's...
So we are going to have Mass Raven. He's got it.
Yeah. Certainly looks like a Mass Raven composition. And I'm thinking that the double harvest could be, sort of the magic bullet to help Zergs deal with this sort of Mass Raven Sky Terran composition without actually changing any balance aspects of the game. They would just have they would have such a large economic advantage that they can potentially win just by throwing endless hordes of cheap units at the very efficient Terran army.
Which I would personally really love to see. Because I just think that's how Zerg's supposed to work.
Yeah. It's a very swarmy, like, essence of Zerg style. And I just gotta say, look at this creep spread.
Well, the game is called Heart of the Swarm, so...
Yes.
I don't know, it just might imply something there.
Exactly. I remember when we were casting the last show match with Jack Attack, he was talking about how... He's talking about that basic idea and how it could essentially be a replacement for the Swarm Host, where instead of getting free units, you just have such a large economy that you can throw cheap units at them, and it's basically the same thing. Except it's not as broken as Swarm Host because they're not actually free. But it's the same game style.
Okay, so how many Ravens is he up to now?
Let's see. He has 7 Ravens, all flying around in a ball. And Scarlett is actually getting Flying Locust and Swarm Host. Speaking of Swarm Host, she's getting some. And she's also getting that 5 base economy that we were talking about.
Took us to Game 7 to finally see.
Yeah, to finally see what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is really cool. I mean, at the moment we have free units fighting free units, which is sort of less exciting. But the fact that, RuFF has to stay back and defend against those buys Scarlett a bit more time, keeps him on his side of the map, and allows her to exploit this huge economy advantage. Like, let's look at the income right now. Okay, mules are pretty good.
No,
So
that's Scarlett.
yes, I know, but
Okay.
so she doesn't
making
have.
sure you knew.
Yeah, she doesn't have that much more mineral income. But if you look at the gas, like it's almost double it. Plus, okay, now that some mules expired, you really see the difference. It's almost double the income.
And with her creep spread, like it's well past the halfway mark here.
Oh, for sure. She's taking more bases.
And you really, really don't want to let Berserk do this. RuFF's gonna have to clear up so much creep to even think about getting across that map.
And he's just going full turtleneck, throwing up his sensor towers, making his planetary fortresses. Like, this is exactly the game we wanted to show you guys.
Okay, let's see. Energy versus energy.
It looks like
That
this might
one
go
battle
down.
Cruiser.
I think this is going to go down.
If those SCVs don't start repairing.
So, planetary does live. SCVs had to waste a bit of mining time. But I think RuFF actually did come out a little ahead in that engagement, but like, look at the supply difference.
Not only that, look at the base difference.
Yes, look, the base difference is massive, and I mean the economy difference is huge. But the really cool thing to see is that like Scarlett, she has what is this, 7 bases? 7 bases, but
yes.
she has like less than 100 workers, and she's still having a huge economy. Normally, if you wanted to saturate 7 bases, I mean, what would you need? You need 16 workers at each. So 16 times 7 plus 6 on gas at each. I mean, that's a very large number. That's what I'm going to go
it's over
with.
100.
Yes,
So,
certainly over 100.
if RuFF wants to stay in this game, I'm just going to say stay in, not necessarily win, but stay in at this point. He's going to have to take the best engagements.
Yes.
He's going to have the best seeker missiles, the best point defense drones.
He essentially has to kill everything for like literally free because she has 7 base production behind it too.
And that's... You gotta really, yeah, there you go. Those infestors kind of just hanging out for no reason. They don't need to stay there. And they have energy.
Yeah, they should probably go home now.
Look at the creep spread. It's literally in his base.
Yeah. So this is sort of what we were talking about. Scarlett lost a lot of Hydras. She certainly came up behind on the resource trade there, but because she has almost the entire map, it doesn't really matter as much. The trade was not even, but it was, it was close enough that she came out ahead there for sure. Because once again, she's maxed. He's 130 supply. And he lost some fairly expensive units, like the battle cruisers, the Ravens. So this is really cool.
Okay, so here we go again for this big engagement. A lot of Yamato cannons going off, but is that going to be enough? Highly doubt it. There are only 3 battle cruisers, 2 battle cruisers left now, a ton of corruptors, more infested Terrans, and this is pretty much it. This is, I'm going to say the end of the game, but who knows?
And RuFF didn't actually lose that much supply, but the thing is, his supply now is in building battle cruisers, which take frickin' forever.
He's losing so many buildings, and GG! Scarlett takes it. What a great series. They strung us along there. Right until Game 7.
Yeah, that was really cool. I am glad we got to see that sort of the turtleneck style. And you might say, Nick, Susan, that was really imbalanced. There was so much Zerg, and that may be right. It may be imbalanced, but the thing is, we're using the current Heart of the Swarm balance thing. So numbers might need tweaking, but I feel like that was a lot cooler of a game than your sit back, and wait till maxed and then walk across the map and kill the Zerg game.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So now let's get them in a call here. But before we do that, let's link the Meltdown Twitter in the chat.
Oh,
so
of course.
Everyone who wants to follow it can follow it. And if you don't want to follow it anyway.
Okay, so I will link the Meltdown Twitter in here.
And we want to thank Meltdown Toronto again, of course, for helping us out.
So yeah, look at this resource collection rate. You know, by the time we got to that last engagement, Scarlett's income was just like massive. You know, almost double that of RuFF.
I'm just gonna convince people some more to support Meltdown. If you want to see more Scarlett, support Meltdown.
Yeah. Or if you want to see more StarCraft, if you want to see more esports.
Okay, so let's get in this call.
I think I need to restart the meeting.
Okay.
Zoom is weird like that. Oh, good.
Someone did make a good point. No one actually saw Scarlett. We can put up a weird picture.
Hello? Oh, good. Everyone is in here now. Let's just add some videos.
We can't show you Scarlett. She doesn't have her video on.
Yeah, Scarlett, you're gonna have to make do with her voice.
I'll make do.
Your fans are freaking out.
Your fans want more Scarlett. That's what's happening here.
I think
Wait,
they
what?
What?
People in the chat saying that they never actually got to see you, just hear your voice. Anyway, so yeah, what? Oh, whoops.
I think just leave hers off.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was showing RuFF's video for Scarlett's place in the thing.
I can
Anyway,
be in two spots.
You can be
Yes,
two
you
people.
can.
Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, what did you guys think of the game or the games?
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it's the YOLO mod.
The YOLO mod because of all those cheese builds we saw.
Oh my god, I was getting so annoyed. I was sitting there, like I wanted to test something out with the Reapers in the beginning, but I wasn't really experienced with the mod. I didn't know that you could just sit there and cut workers and get stuff out a little bit faster than you normally would. And I only got the idea when I asked Scarlett, when she rushed me with roaches. She's like, I had 8 drones. I'm like, thinking to myself, what? Seriously? I did the Reapers in the beginning, like the first game. What if I went with 8 SCVs? I wonder what timing I would have hit at. So I started doing that, like all of my games after that. I just started going like 8 SCV here, 8 SCV there, and started like YOLOing like crazy. The last game I was like, I feel bad because I know we want to see like mech versus like Zerg
okay.
and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold the YOLOage back. I'm gonna see if I can abuse like the gases because I was doing that in the beginning, and it seemed like I did because I got ravens and stuff out really fast. But the thing is, Zerg, they expand. If they take over the map and you don't do anything about it, they don't need very many drones. It's like when you're playing StarCraft 2, and you have 3 bases completely saturated with drones, right? That's almost like 75 drones right there. You can't really have more than that. But in this mod, if you take like 5 or 6 bases, you don't need as many drones. So your economy is like a lot higher than StarCraft 2 would be.
Yeah. Well, I believe she had
Because-
7
and you don't
bases
need
and
to use that much
75
supply.
workers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, at the end there, I was like, wow, there's so many units. Yet I was defending so well. I'm like, why is there so much stuff maxed out all of a sudden?
Yeah, it definitely feels like early attacks are stronger. I felt that when I was playing against Portals too. Like I'd go 3 hedge before pool, and then there'd be a zealot in my base from like a normal gate timing before my pool was like half done. And same like when I was playing you, the Marines were getting to my base and my queens were like half done, which that doesn't normally happen when you go hedge first against normal X timing.
Yeah.
And the game on Inferno pools, like that was so quick. My queens were not close to done, and you had 3 racks making Marines and everything.
That was kind of like that Coda game when the roaches were like already in the middle of the map. When I had like not even my reactor factory completed, I was like, "What is going on here?"
Well, that was
I actually thought I was gonna lose that.
yeah, that was. Oh, I had like no workers. If you looked at the economy, you had like twice as much income, even though you're only one base. But yeah, it feels like this changes more early attacks rather than late game stuff in general. Because most of the time you don't really get to experience the late game stuff when you can just play super aggressive and you don't really get punished.
Right.
All right. Well, we saw some pretty cool games. I did like to see the fact that we got both the changes in the very, very early game as well as the very late game with that last mech build. Let's see. What else is there to talk about? Do you have any questions, Susan? Or,
Like even when I was going 7 pool and I pulled drones, I still had extra money. Like I couldn't spend all my money making links, which you normally could. So I was making a queen, I was making overlords and stuff, and that's not normal when you're doing 7 pool and pulling drones.
Yeah, it's really weird. Usually on the ladder, I have people do that to me when I wall on the low ground, which you were talking about you were trying to do there.
Yeah.
And I constantly keep walling on the low ground because I'm used to holding those kind of ling attacks. Like I'll go to the enemy base, they don't have the drones because they pulled the drones, I'll kill the drones, I'll send the Reaper over there, and then there's no queen. When I got there, I saw a queen, I saw maybe 12 drones. I'm like, wow, what is up with all these units here now? So at that point, I'm like, okay, there's no way to stop a 6 pull if you don't wall off.
And also the game on Iron Fortress. I know you do that a lot on ladder. I've played against you and you did that, and I always lose drones, but that time it felt like your secondary push, it was so much stronger. Like usually, I was going 2 base muta there, right? And my spire wasn't even done. And you had like 2 tanks, like 16 Marines, a bunch of Hellions, just because...
Yeah, I was doing my... I have a timing attack where I do that on the ladder, where I hit at like 8:30, 9 minutes right before muta. But it came like at, I want to say 8 minutes. And what I also did was I cut all my workers. I only had 8 mining at both bases.
Oh, I see.
So that's why it came so early. And I was like, let me see if this will work. And it did work. So I was like, wow, there's so many units.
I had nothing, and I was going like 2 base. I didn't even start my 3rd then.
all right. Well, we've got one question from the chat here asking, what do you think? What do you think would happen if the double harvest system was implemented while they still had the 12 worker start from Legacy?
I think that would actually make it a little more normal.
YOLO with 4 drones or something?
Well, because you can't even YOLO as much then. Like, you'd already be almost making like a 15 hatch at like 30 seconds into the game or whatever. But, like, you can't do an 8 pull or a proxy Reaper at 11 supply or anything when that happens. So I feel like it would actually make it more macro focused.
I think I would just skip the depot and go straight for the CC. If that happened.
CC first every game?
Yep. No depot. Just
literally CC first.
Yeah.
One thing I saw, or I didn't actually get to see this, but I heard about it from another game in one of the Double Harvester tournaments. Was some Zergs were actually just going 9 hatch and making it work, like hatch before Overlord,
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
and it was like surprisingly good.
If you could get that minimum saturation at your bases, then I think you're in fine shape.
I think if you micro your workers, you can actually get to like 10 before you start losing saturation, because they're not all in sync. So you take the extra like 2 workers and you move them to one that's about to be finished mining. So you could even do like double extractor trick and go 11 hatch before Overlord or something weird like that. But yeah, you can get a few more than 8 before you lose income from them if you do micro them. I feel like at least 9 or 10.
Like if you get them on the far patches.
No, not even that. I mean, like you have 1 on each patch, and then since all the drones are not coming back at exactly the same time, you take the extra 2, and whenever they're delivering, you tell them to like go to a patch that's almost gonna be finished being mined out, and then by the time it gets there, and then you switch to the other drone, and you just keep doing that. It takes a lot of attention, so you can only really do it if you're on one base, but you could even do that for sure too.
I actually noticed that. I wasn't microing my SCVs on my mineral line. If they were mining from the far patch, I just let them, because it seemed like the timing was the same.
It's a little slower, I think.
Because of distance, maybe?
No, I mean, far patches are better, kind of, once you get, I don't know. Because once, like, if you go on a close patch, they keep bouncing around, and that's sometimes slower. And 2 workers on a far patch, they'll even be sitting there. Like, even if they're paired, that's not close enough, just because of how long it takes them to mine. So yeah, I mean, like, you have to specifically micro them each time they deliver, if you want to do that.
So at this time, do you prefer the Double Harvest mod, the Legacy of the Void economy, or the Heart of the Swarm? Either of you.
Who goes first?
Ladies first.
I don't know. It's definitely very different, and I think it could work out, but it would have to be tweaked for sure. Because even in Heart of the Swarm right now, they're making a lot more aggressive options, and if it was like this economy with all those options, it would just be crazy at the start. So it would have to be tweaked a little bit. But I kind of do like the concept, and it is quite different. So it would be a nice change.
I think I'd probably stick with... Oh, sorry, did you have something else?
I was just going to say, but yeah, like, there's the adept rushes, like, burrow move roach rushes, and ravager rushes, and all these crazy things would be so strong if you could do that. So if the economy was like that, so as it stands right now, I think it's like going a little too far in terms of making early aggression stronger. I don't think that's what they really meant to do with the mod. It was kind of meant to stop turtling, I think, and make more expanding better, but as a side effect of making the aggressive attacks a lot better, so they might have to think about a way to reduce that a little bit for Legacy of Void, just because early attacks are already stronger there.
I would probably suggest try 8 minerals instead of 9.
8 minerals?
Yeah, because I don't know if that's going to make a big difference. It might actually make it so that you're mining less, but the way I see it is it might cut back the YOLOing, and it might force people to start expanding then instead of trying to YOLO, because I noticed you get a lot more money than you usually do. So I wonder what would happen if you mined less. So that's just kind of my idea.
I think there actually already is a Double Harvest 8 one going already. Like, I think somebody made the mod, so we could try that at some point. See how it plays out, for sure.
Okay. As far as picking what I'd prefer, probably Heart of the Swarm still. Just because Legacy of the Void has a nice concept, but I think it still needs a lot of work. And same with the mod here. So I'm curious to see what 8 would do. Because I know with 9, you're going to see lots and lots of YOLOing. And I noticed that being super aggressive is a lot better than sitting back. Because if you're constantly killing workers, then the advantage starts to tip over to the person that's killing the workers' advantage.
All right, cool. And I'm guessing this question is for you, although we can get an answer from Scarlett too. How do you think mech is going to change with the legacy economy?
How is mech going to change? I think mech is more effective. For the short time that I did play Legacy of the Void, I played it before they changed the Cyclone to only attack ground. So it was like attack in air and ground. But if I completely ignored the Cyclone, I was able to actually fight Protoss armies with mech. And I was able to pretty much... I was pretty much able to play mech everywhere. I did not see a use for bio at all, which is a little strange. Bio seemed like it was just there's an opening and then you better go to mech because bio is not going to work later. That was just my experience.
Well, it's not partially because I feel like some of the Protoss units are a little bit weaker against mech in Legacy of the Void, especially Immortals.
Yep.
Their shields are so much worse against tanks.
I got crushed by what is it? The Cyclone. Whenever I played mech.
But
because you have the big ball and they just drop in to walk in. Your mech is so slow that it
Oh,
can't.
the disruptor.
Oh, yeah, Disruptor.
Oh, disruptor. That's what it was. Sorry.
Yes.
But in terms of just the economy, wouldn't it make like Turtle mech at least a bit weaker because you do have to expend more, especially with Terran because you can mule out your bases so quickly.
I don't think it would be weaker because the gas is still the same, whereas Terrans need gas for mech.
I thought they reduced the gas. Did they? They might have changed it back. I'm not sure.
They have reduced it, I think. I think it's like 75% per base, something like that.
Oh, okay. Are they mining double? I'm confused.
Well, this is for Legacy.
Oh,
Right.
Legacy of the
Yeah.
Void. Okay. For the Harvest mod, I think it's fine to go mech. I think it's actually an advantage too, because if you can turtle up on 3 bases, well, let me put it like this: you better be at least attacking as well. You're like harassing with like banshees here or Hellions there, because if not, then you're gonna be kind of screwed, kind of like that last game.
So you can't let the Zerg get 7 bases. That's what I'm hearing here.
Try to kill workers. That's all, pretty much. Because gas is the same, so that means you should be okay. You might have less Hellions though, things like that, but you're you should still have like very powerful units like Thors, Ravens, things like that.
All right, we have confirmation from the chat that the gas is reduced in Legacy. All right, perfect. Perfect. 1250 per base instead of 1500.
Well, that's not that bad. Wasn't it 2,500? It's 2,500 part of this one.
Huh.
So that's half.
Maybe. Let's just. I'm just gonna look this up
Yeah, that
quick.
sounds about right because there's half mineral patches as well, pretty much.
Anyway, any final thoughts about the economy changes?
I like that it's different, but it's still not. It still definitely needs some tweaks. Partially because, yeah, it does make everything a little bit crazy with the early attacks. And I don't know if that was the whole goal. And it's nice that it does that a little bit, but the extent it changes that is a little bit too far. But I still do like the concept and like that it is different. I don't know how it would work out in Legacy of the Void, though.
Okay, I gotta jump off here, guys.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yep. Thanks for playing. And good games. And also, just for confirmation, it's 2,000 per geyser in Legacy of the Void. Just looked it up.
Okay.
Anyway.
And we'll talk to you later. So thanks for playing and
had fun.
See you, everyone.
that's the best.
Yeah, and so thanks for everyone who came out to watch the series. Make sure you show Meltdown Toronto some love for helping us fund the prize pool, and follow them on Facebook, Twitter, all that type of stuff.
Let's put their links in one more time.
All right, Twitter/Meltdown Toronto. And yeah, so thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to throw us a follow too. We're on Twitter, obviously we're on Twitch, and we will see you all next time. Oh, we should host somebody. Who should we host?
I don't know.
Any opinions, Scarlett? Is she still here? No, I don't think she's here anymore. Let's see. Well, who should we host? Who's on right now? That's the big question. Let's throw it to another Acer person.
Yeah, Acer Bly.